We'll be talking today about a topic that I think more than a psychological topic, this is also a topic that's sociological in nature, isn't it? The whole phenomena of having to meet people across a distance, from a distance, and even when you're in front of each other, you really can't hug or shake hands like you used to in the olden days, because there's this crazy virus out there and no one really knows when it's going to leave us. So, social isolation is our topic for today, more so in a pandemic reality and how we are, managing or maybe not managing so well. So, while I thank Sanjay for that lovely introduction, I'd spend a few seconds telling you about what I really do. So, basically, I'm one of the owners of the Heart to Heart Counseling Center. We've been in Mumbai since 1986. Of course, that's the year I was born, so I wasn't working yet. It's been started by my father, and we're quite well known. We do courses. We train people how to be counselors also, and we also offer counseling services. So I usually, as you can tell, I'm in my 30s. I mostly deal with people closer to my age, young couples, and the youth. And per year, so far we've been training 500 plus students, but now because of distance learning and because of people who want to learn and want to do something creative with their time, I think we've crossed that number. So actually, I should be technically updating this slide. I've been affiliated with several institutes. As you can see, I've recently added your Rotary logo as well. I do think Rotary is also like an institute in that you guys are teaching, finding people who can teach stuff to y'all, who can share stuff with y'all. So these are some of the colleges that have called me to speak to their students ever since I've been doing this, really. A little bit about my career. These are some of the brands that have hired me either as a consultant, so I was employed as a full-time employee with them. You may see towards the left, there are quite a few entertainment brands. Yeah, that's because I wasn't always a psychotherapist. I used to work in the media industry for many, many years. And I was a creative consultant, so I kind of used the creative discipline I learned from there, combined it with my knowledge of psychology when I got my PhD and got into the whole mindset coaching sphere. So yeah, these are just some of the people I have worked with for you to know, and I kind of like to include these logos because that also makes me feel very nice. I'm like, wow, I've lived quite a long life so far, hopefully still very long, so I can meet interesting people such as you all and talk and share ideas. All right, that's enough about me. I told you I'd keep it short. I don't like to spend too much time talking about myself. Let's jump right into the topic now. I believe, and this is not in any book, this is my personal opinion based on my reading, and I do a lot of reading. I read on several subjects. I believe all human beings, doesn't matter which community or gender you are, or how much money your dad has, or how much money you have, we all live in three existential states. What does this mean? We mean all human beings. I mean all human beings on this planet live through three psychological stages of existence. And I'll explain this. The first is isolation, which is our default existential state. What the hell does this mean? Let me explain it. Now, when you're born in this world, you come alone, unless you're one of two twins. Okay, that's the only exception. And because you come in this world alone, a large chunk of your journey through this world, whether you had a bad childhood, or your family didn't have money, or your father didn't want a daughter and wanted a son instead, or whether your teachers gave you trouble, or you had trouble finding a job, or whether you're having marital troubles, or you're stressed out, or you have health issues, whatever your problems are, you have largely been through those issues as an individual completely alone. See, as much as you may try to explain what your life journey has been, only you know the pain, only you know the pleasures, only you know the anxiety and uncertainty that you have experienced, which is why, in essence, to be isolated is your default existential state. Even your mother, father, sibling, wife, child, best friend, boss doesn't know the extent to which you may have suffered or triumphed in your personal life. So, in a purely philosophical sense of the term, you have always been alone and isolated in your experience of this world, in your experience of life, of family, of society, of work. So there are several versions of you as well. Those of you all in your 60s, try to remember how you were when you were 32. Try to remember how you were when you were 17. Try to remember how it felt when you had your first crush. It's still you, but it's an iteration of you. It's a version of you. Like whenever the iPhone gets an update on the software, few things change and you have to relearn how the new interface works. It's not a big change, but it's there. You need a few minutes or hours depending on how techno savvy you are. So all human beings by default are isolated. Only now, because of the lockdown, we are feeling it more. Shit, I'm all alone in this. If something happens to me, COVID will take me. The second existential state is communion. This is a choice we make. Now, when you're born in a family, in a community, we are Gujaratis or we are Marwadis or Punjabis or Sindhis or Christians or Jews or Buddhists or Muslims, whatever community you represent, it's a choice that has been made for you, isn't it? Your family has sort of put you within the fold, and because you represent a community, there are expectations from you. This is not a part of Indian culture. Women should not talk this way. Men should not be so lazy. They should be hardworking. All these things are taught to you. So it's part of your indoctrination. So this communion is our chosen existential state. So we choose to be busy. We choose to be employed. We choose to pay rent. It's a choice. There are other choices as well. So this is our second existential state. The choice, the community, the society, the neighbors, the entire group, so to speak. And our third existential state, in my opinion, is what I refer to as solidarity. Now, this is a reflective existential state. Now, yes, I'm a part of a community. I'm an Indian. There was a national anthem played a short while ago. Yes. So that was my communion. I'm essentially alone. If I suffer or if I do well, I'm essentially going to experience all those things alone. But in solidarity, I make a choice of how much I want to share with other people and how much I have in common with other people. See, I remember this movie I had watched when I was a kid with Nana Patekar, where he shouts a lot. He shouts in most of his movies. ये हिंदू का खून या मुस्लिम का खून, तू बोल इसमें से लाल वाला कौन सा ज़्यादा है, isn't it? So we all have something common with the other person, whether you're old, young, rich, poor, good looking, not so good looking, or whatever labels or criteria you use, there is something that we share with other human beings. We share our emotions, we share our various transitions, we share our worries, we share our nationality. So very often and I tell people, when you're dealing with social isolation, especially during the coronavirus, the third existential state of solidarity is what will actually help you reorient how you think. What do I mean by this? If you feel, shit, what a crappy year, oh no, 2020 has been useless, I haven't done anything, my business is down, my family's, everyone's getting very irritated with each other, whatever. When you think in terms of solidarity, you say, hey, I'm not the only one who's going through it. I'm not the only person who has suffered. I'm not the only one who's had to double guess what the future may be like. I'm not the only one who has started freaking out every time my throat gets a little dry. I'm not the only one who has now started drinking turmeric water, who is now getting nervous every time something happens in the sensex. I'm not the only one. And that, my friends, is solidarity. The ability to not feel alone thematically. Physically, you may very well be alone. Like me, I live alone in a house. I'm completely alone out here. So, but thematically, I'm not alone. I have found opportunities to connect with people virtually, to create my own communities, to be parts of communities, such as Sanjay was saying, we're part of many WhatsApp groups. So this sentiment of solidarity, do you have control over the fact that you came alone in this world? Your first existential state, isolation? No. Do you have control over the community you represent? By and large, no. Later you can change your religion, whatever. But your surname, your name, your identity largely follows you throughout your life. All right. But the solidarity component of your existence, that is a choice you make. That I have things that are common with other people. So I should not feel like I am singled out in what is proving to be truly quite a difficult year. Now we are social animals. Due to the pull of collective fates, what does this mean? All of us are going to die. Like it or not, we are all going to die. We don't know when, we don't know how, we don't know why. And we don't know how much time we have left. Because of that, we have to manage the time we have, isn't it? We have to manage it creatively. We have to manage it to meet certain goals. Either those goals are our own goals, or the goals are shared by our family, or by our community, or by our country, or by the business that we represent, isn't it? Now, when human beings were evolving. We didn't exactly start off as living in societies and cities. First, we lived in caves, then we became nomadic travelers. We were just walking around, trying to find new places to find food. We became foragers, hunter gatherers, then we started agriculture, tilling the land. Civilization, since the beginning of civilization, the reason we keep needing to band together and come together is for these three things. Because when we are together, it's a lot easier to carry out research and find new solutions. And this is how technology and science has progressed. It is easy to share resources. For example, on a building WhatsApp group, someone may message. I think I only messaged a few days ago, I need a plumber, please tell me who can come. So a few messages came to me. I said, I need a car cleaner, who can come? A few messages came to me now. Now, it's easy for me sitting on my white couch to get information on WhatsApp, but that wasn't always the case. So civilizations banded together for the purpose of research, for the purpose of sharing of resources, and to create some kind of regimentation so that everybody gets food, the women are safe, the children have structures to play in, and that is why we are social animals, essentially. Now, how is this connected with social isolation? It's very important to understand that because we are social animals, a part of our imprint, our psychological imprint, always goes about looking for other people, because we have been taught that, we have seen that, we have grown that way. So we keep looking for other people because historically we have found other people and they have supported our research, our search for resources, and the regimentation that we've become a part of. Isn't it? So that people say, oh, I wish I didn't need people so much. Oh, I wish I was okay being alone. You will never be okay being alone, because there is a history to human beings coming together and attaching themselves to a cause. Like Rotary, for example, you guys have come together and you all are attached to a cause. Isn't it? And within that, you all have structures, you all have hierarchies, you have a chairperson, etc. You all say interesting things like the meeting has come to order, you all have your own jargon. It's interesting, isn't it? It's a subgroup within several subgroups. Now, because we are social animals, we are constantly products of conditioning, which means our families, our schools, the communities we represent have given us a memorandum ever since we were kids. This is how you should behave, this is how you should speak, this is how you should work, this is how you should try to be respectful. So we all come with our little users' manuals, which have been given to us by people in positions of authority. All right? And that rule book stays in our mind, and we carry it with us till we die. That's what gives us what we refer to as our identity and gives us our agenda, or what is your plan. कभी कभी होता है ना, मूवीज में दिखाते थे, when a girl calls her boyfriend to meet the father, the father will say, what are your plans in life? What do you want? So that is the father trying to say, do you have an agenda that I find respectable, which matches my agenda for my daughter? So as individuals within a society, we are always looking to match agendas. We are always given orders and accords, and we carry this little, as I said, instruction manual in our head to live our lives. And you'd be surprised, a lot of the miseries that we experience are a result of us adhering to an instruction manual in our mind that is outdated, or that is no longer useful, or that is making you extremely stubborn and rigid. And we all know that if there's one thing we all need to be in the middle of a global pandemic, it's flexible. You can't be rigid anymore. I personally love addressing a live audience. I love the energy of the room. I love to be able to see people's faces. But I know here some people's cameras are going to be off. Some people are on the phone. Some people are eating something. Some people are on their bed. I have to make do with it. We all have to make do with it. Adjustment, flexibility is important. So a lot of our thinking has something to do with social conditioning. And we're always trying to rate ourselves. Would you agree with this? I think all human beings are constantly looking to rate themselves, benchmark themselves, to sort of ask the question to ourselves, am I doing okay? Am I doing well for myself? Am I earning enough money? Am I taking good care of my family? Do I have enough friends? Do I have a nice house? Am I living comfortably? Am I doing enough cool stuff? Isn't it? So what happens is we keep asking ourselves questions about ourselves to assess. And that's normal and that's needed. But what happens is, because we are grown up in societies, there's something called socio-moral judgment that we're a part of. So what happens is we hanker for other human beings because we don't trust our own judgment of ourselves. We feel that we are doing something very wrong if we are not around other people and we're not asking them for their opinions about how we should think and live and process life. And I'm not saying that you should not take the opinion of other people. Of course you should. But the biggest problem is, especially in these times of social distancing, is a lot of people have realized how little they actually trust themselves. They may trust their wife, they may trust their parent, their boss. They may trust the sensex more than they trust themselves. And we are living through a year where your trust on yourself is at a premium. Because if you don't trust yourself, you're going to start feeling anxiety, depression, anger, guilt, resentment, and you're going to start feeling lonely. You're going to say, oh no, I don't have anyone. No one loves me. No one cares about me. No one's asking about me. No one checked in on me. And that self-pity is as addictive as cocaine. It's the worst drug out there. It doesn't have, it's a dematerialized good. Self-pity is intangible. You can't touch it. And self-pity is what is something I'm observing, a lot of people feeling bad for themselves because of social isolation. Because they are so used to seeing themselves through the eyes of other people instead of seeing themselves through their own eyes. And why don't they do this? Because of lack of practice. Because they don't trust themselves. Socializing gives us warmth and security. See, there's no doubt about that, okay? But understand that a lot of this warmth and security that you were enjoying in a pre-pandemic world, your friends came over for dinner, for chai and bloody pakoras. Your friends came home to have a couple of drinks. It's nice. You love it, I love it, everybody loves it. But in the absence of those people, first thing you realize is I don't trust myself. Second thing you realize is I don't even like myself. It's a strange thing, isn't it? Suddenly people are feeling more isolated because they realize how much they hate themselves and judge themselves. So we are constantly looking to get those things from outside without realizing that you can self-generate that. You can be autonomous and give yourself a lot of credit for where you are. Be a little patient with yourself. Be a little kind. Okay? It's all right. And this is what I essentially do for a living as well. I tell all my clients, I say, it's okay if you screwed up. It's okay if you didn't know. It's okay if somebody made a fool out of you. Because guess what? Join the team. We've all been there at different stages in our life. Isn't it? So yes, we need that warmth and security, but if we become addicted to it, we feel more isolated. Now, this term social distancing has started making me sick. Because it's not social distancing, it's physical distancing. You can't go and give jadoo ki jappis like bloody Munna Bhai to people who you meet. Why? Because of the COVID being virulent, because of fomites, and whatever other reason you can't touch people, you have to keep washing your damn hands. There's a logic to it. So I would implore you guys to not use the word social distancing, because subliminally I feel it starts making you feel a little sad, a little lost. Oh no, social distancing. Mere koi dost hai nahi. I can't socialize. Says who? I prefer calling it distant socializing. From a distance, through video call, I'm socializing with Kulbhushan Jetli, Prabodh Sharma and Sunil Keswani, who I've never met in my life. But I'm socializing with them technically. I can see their lovely faces. Okay, Hema has disappeared, but that's fine. Here's the thing. You are in a position to redefine this situation. Don't let the situation define you. I think enough of that has done. Enough thalis have been banged. Enough mashals have been taken down the street. Alright? How do we want to redefine it? By first, we stop calling it social distancing. We call it distant socializing, or we call it physical distancing. Okay? So and I believe the terms we use can also affect how we think. Isn't it? In psychology, we believe vocabulary is very important. So I'll give you a very classic example. If you tell someone you're useless and I think you're a lazy person, okay? That person will say, how did you say this about me? How can you tell I'm useless and lazy? Now you want that person to work harder. Now instead of that, you say something like, hey, I think there's a lot more talent that you have, and I think you could be doing a lot more than you're currently doing, and I'm excited to see what you have to offer. the situation or the job or the project, it excites me to see how much more you can take this forward. Essentially, you have said the same thing to the person कि थोड़ा और काम करो भाई, थोड़ा हिलाओ अपने हाथों को पैरों को, हैं पैसे दे रहे हैं तुमको. In a way, you're saying it, but you're saying it in a different way. But you mean the same thing. So vocabulary is very important. We believe in the power of vocabulary in psychology. So in case you're wondering कि उसमें क्या है, it means the same thing. No. See, in all relationships, you're going to have to go the distance. So while you are engaging in distance socializing and physical distancing, you're going to have to go the distance to invest in relationships. All right? Understand one thing, in today's world, geography doesn't matter. You can talk to anyone from any part of the world. You can talk to someone in Jakarta, London, Singapore, UK, Canada, wherever the hell they are. Even if they're in bloody Guatemala. You can talk to them through video call. If they have a decent internet connection, you can have a call. You can chat. We live in a very beautiful time. 2020 is amazing because we are able to have this access to technology. It's easy, it's cheap, and very often it's even free. All right. So you have to go the distance. You can't just sit around and say, oh no, nobody called me, to maine bhi nahi kiya. No. You're going to feel socially isolated if you're not proactive. Your mindset will map your journey, isn't it? In the old days, there were old school maps. When I was in school, they taught us something called survey maps. We used to absolutely hate it. We had to count things with the divider, etc. I remember. But remember one thing, guys. If you're feeling socially isolated, you're feeling lonely, you're feeling a bit sad. Oh no, I haven't met my friends. Oh no, how am I going to celebrate Diwali now? Understand that a lot of those thoughts have a lot to do with your mindset. So for example, I have a mindset which I have cultivated. I'm not going to say it was always this way. I didn't fall from the sky thinking this way. And that is, I tell myself, Aman, भाई तेरे को आज नहीं मालूम है कि क्या होने वाला है. ये तेरे को आज solution नहीं है तेरे पास. लेकिन जिंदगी भर ऐसा नहीं रहेगा. झक मार मार के तुम solution निकालोगे. And I have proof that in the past also, when things have been difficult, you have found ways, you have found methods, you have found people, and you have found situations that you can use to your advantage to get the job done, to progress along the timeline of your goals. So it's very important for you guys to embrace a spirit of what I would refer to as collaboration, which means working with others. Contribution. If you feel like you have not contributed enough to your family or to your line of work, try contributing. Try curating community. Sanjay will tell you later. I've created a lot of WhatsApp groups. There's one for food. There's one for movies. There's one for comic books. All the things I like. Because I want to meet like-minded people in the virtual world, if not in the real world because of the pandemic. So I'm trying to contribute, creating an ecosystem. So these are the 3 C's that I think are very important. So you have to ask yourself, have I collaborated ever since this began in March? Have I contributed in any way? Or have I given birth to something? Well, have I created something? Have I created a new opportunity? Have I created a new business? Have I created a new lifestyle? Am I healthier now? So some equity you end up creating, even if it's an emotional or psychological equity. And that is the mindset that will help you deal with the phenomena of social isolation, which I think all of us in some way or the other have had to face, some more than others. Now these are some things that people do that make them feel even more socially isolated. पहले से हम लोग socially isolated है, but it's like बोलते हैं ना जख्म पे किसी ने नमक डाल दिया, है ना, वो burn होगा ना ज़्यादा. One thing that people do is what I call is hosting a pity party. हाँ, they'll call up all their friends and say, यार कितना गंदा हो रहा है यार, पैसे नहीं है यार, समझ में नहीं आ रहा है, oh no, such a crappy year, oh no, travel नहीं कर पा रहे. So basically you're calling people up to say, oh please pity me, pity me, pity me, my life is so bad, so difficult. Let me tell you what that is. It's boring. It's very tedious. People are going to stop taking your calls, you know. They'll change what they've stored your name as. They'll store your name as boring uncle or irritating auntie or idiot. They'll store your name as that because no one wants to listen to your miseries unless they're a therapist like me who's trained to take all that misery and turn it into something else and help you. You will feel socially isolated if you are very stagnant as a person. You have not learned something new, you have not grown in your profession, and you are very rigid and stuck in your ways. Extremely stuck in your ways. You don't try new foods, you don't try new processes. जैसा है हमारे घर में वैसा ही रहेगा. So when you're rigid, and I spoke about this earlier, when you're rigid, people tend to move away from you saying, ये आदमी बहुत बोर करता है, या ये आदमी बहुत ही ढीठ है, stubborn है, isn't it? So that'll make you feel even more socially isolated. One, you talk about self-pity. Two, you're stagnant. Third is you wait for God, karma, or the government to fix things. I'm sorry to tell you guys that I've waited long enough for these three to fix things, and they don't fix things. Maybe you do, maybe you believe in God, and I congratulate you if you do. But I've always believed that if things have to be fixed, आपको हाथ पैर हिलाने पड़ेंगे, isn't it? You can't just sit around, can't sit on your couch and write checks to yourself like that obnoxious book The Secret asks you to do. It's a hoax. If you don't proactively do something to change your situation, I assure you your situation is going to not change. Isn't it? It's like me sitting on my couch and praying that, oh, I should lose weight. Of course I won't lose weight. I have to control what I eat. I have to exercise. I have to hydrate. I have to get enough sleep. उसके भी कुछ नियम होते हैं कि नहीं? So when you expect things to change on their own, you're in a way lazy, and that laziness percolates to all areas of your life. So when if you're one of those person who's waiting around for things to happen, you will wait around for people to come and approach you and say, "Bhai, कैसे चल रहा है? How are you surviving the lockdown?" People may not approach you. Why should they approach you? What are you, Modi? Why will they approach you? You're not important enough. They're busy dealing with their own lives, trying to correct their income streams, trying to look at the Sensex, trying to figure out their lives. Why the hell would they call you? So don't wait around. You'll feel very socially isolated if you wait around. Be proactive. दोस्त की याद आ गई, फोन उठाया, साले कैसा है, जिंदा है कि मरा है? Be that way. घुसो. Get into things. If you blame your family, fourth point now, blame your family for not doing enough for you, remember it's not their job to do things for you. It is their choice to do things for you. If you deserve and have earned their respect, they will do things for you. Just because it's a family doesn't mean that they owe you hot aloo parathas in the morning. Okay? So don't blame your families. Help your families. Okay? It's quid pro quo. आप मेरे लिए कुछ करो, हम आपके लिए कुछ करेंगे. Reciprocity is the cardinal law of all relationships. Husband, wife, best friends, families, parent, daughter, father, son, whatever. If you don't get enough sleep, you're going to be moody, you're going to be irritable, you're going to be a little foggy, and you will feel more isolated than you actually are. Because you're moody, because you're sad. When you're moody, when you're feeling a bit cranky, you tend to look at the downside of things. So if you don't get enough sleep, it affects your mood. If it affects your mood, you wake up in the morning saying, oh God, I'm so socially isolated, no one cares about me, no one loves me, I'm going to die. That's not good, right? So the idea is we're looking to help you change the way you think. If you don't find meaning in this time that you have with yourself, now suddenly the luxury of time is there because most of us are working at home. We don't have to get stuck in traffic on Western Express Highway. Isn't it? You have all this time with yourself. Find some meaning in it, my friends. Because it's a very, very crucial thing to do. If you suffer, find meaning in that suffering. If you learn, find meaning in that learning. Because let me assure you, and this is what I feel, sometimes if you think about it, life doesn't have a larger meaning. You have to create your own meaning based on your values. What are the values that you hold dear? What do you want from your life? Because once we die, the game's over. Isn't it? It's not like a video game that you die and then you can restart the level and you play again. Once you're dead, you're dead. Once you're terminally ill, you're terminally ill. Once you're broke for a while. Unless you figure out how to make all that money back. So you have all this time with yourself. Ask yourself this question every day. What does all this extra time mean for me? Does it mean I'm going to be learning something new, developing something new, growing an ecosystem, becoming fitter, becoming more organized, or spending more time with the people I love? Now because I'm at home, I can see them more. Don't be one of those people, last point is to propagate gloom and doom scenarios. Don't be one of those WhatsApp uncles or WhatsApp aunties who's only posting bullshit news about, oh, is building mein hua, abhi us building mein hua. Because when you bring gloom and doom scenarios to the forefront and keep vomiting it on WhatsApp, don't forget that while you want others to read it and believe in it, you are believing in it too. When a child is very young, why does his mother not let him watch violent movies? Because she doesn't want that to contaminate his thinking. He doesn't want him to go and try that out in school and beat some kid up. Isn't it? So similarly, the more you propagate these, oh, COVID is going to kill us, oh no, there's a meteorite heading for Earth, the more you propagate gloom and doom scenarios, the more gloomy you feel in yourself. And then that will also sicken people, and that will make you feel socially isolated when they pull away from you saying, यार ये आदमी हमेशा boring कोविड के न्यूज़ भेजता रहता है, इससे हमको नहीं कुछ लेना देना भाई, शी वही वही चीज़ भेजेगा इस बिल्डिंग में उस बिल्डिंग में. So don't become one of those gossip mongers, because then people will move away from you and you will actually feel socially isolated, because people are forming perceptions about you not just based on who you are but based on who they think you are. Who they think you are is a function of how they see you. How they see you is a function of what you share on WhatsApp, what you post online, and how you generally behave. Okay. Now, if you're feeling socially isolated, and that's unfortunate because a lot of us have felt that way during these 7 months, let me give you a few reality checks, guys. The first is nobody owes you their love or friendship. It's not like a debt, okay, that you gave someone money and now they owe it back to you. There's no such thing. People can choose to love you and choose to offer you their friendship if they feel like they have something to gain in return from you. As I said, it's about reciprocity. No one owes you shit. Your wife, your kids don't owe you love. Were you a father or a mother or a friend to them who cared for what they were really feeling and thinking about? Did you respect their autonomy? Did you give them respect when they had an opinion that maybe you didn't agree with it? So no one owes you these things. Second is, no one is responsible for making you happy. So get this khayal out of your head. A lot of my clients say, why my mother didn't do this? Why is my father not doing this? I'm like, it's not their job to keep you happy, you know. I read a quote the other day saying that if you want to make everyone happy, open an ice cream shop. But I don't think you'll make diabetics very happy. So technically that quote is wrong. You can't make everyone happy. You will never get 100% approval ratings. Even Modi doesn't have it. Even Mahatma Gandhi didn't have it. Even Buddha didn't have it. Even Jesus didn't have it. They hung the guy. If you see all images of Jesus, poor guy was hung. Okay? खीले डाले थे उनके हाथों में. So no one gets 100% approval ratings and no one is responsible for making you happy. If you stagnate, sit around and are just watching videos on YouTube, watching the Arnab Goswami bloody show, you're wasting away your time. Time you could have used to learn something new, to grow your money, to connect with your family. One thing I ask myself every day, this is what I do. I don't think, I'm not saying everyone has to do it. I ask myself, Aman, today, please do something that makes you more smart and more interesting to yourself. So I will every day do at least one thing that makes me feel smarter and makes me feel more interesting. कि अमन, you're an interesting guy यार. कि भले और कोई नहीं तेरे घर में रहता, तो अपने कंपनी में बहुत खुश है. Life's good. Okay? Your choices and your journey. See, whatever you do, whatever Sunil or Prabodh, whatever you guys do in life, know that there will always be a third person who's observing and has an opinion on it, and they will gossip about it. अच्छा सुनील ने ये किया, ओहो अच्छा 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 बहुत पैसे आ गए सुनील के पास, अच्छा प्रबोध ये कर रहा है आजकल, ओह आई डिडंट नो ही इज दिस काइंड ऑफ गाय. सो यू सी, गॉसिप करने वाले लोग हमेशा रहेंगे जाएंगे कहीं नहीं, isn't it? So if you are feeling socially isolated because people are gossiping about you, because you feel like they have a low opinion of you, know that that would be the case even if there was no pandemic. Whatever you choose, whatever your journey is, people will gossip about you. Okay? Because perhaps their lives are not interesting enough. Maybe you are more interesting. The way people get obsessed every time Ananya Pandey posts something on her Instagram. They get excited. Ananya Pandey kya kar rahi hai? ठीक है? Her life is more interesting to you than your own life. Isn't it? So, that's a reality check I'm giving you guys. Now, the speed of your ascent or descent is not important. See, some people achieve success by the age of 28 and then they die in their 60s. Some people spend their entire 30s just smoking weed and then they become millionaires in their late 50s and live till 92. So, you see, when you will hit your stride, find your mojo, make money, or make great relationships and friendships, no one can tell. It really, no one, and you will only think about the mistakes you have made after you have made those mistakes. So a lot of times I have clients, they feel socially isolated. They say, oh no, I have made so many mistakes and my friends are doing so well. मेरा एक दोस्त हार्वर्ड गया, मेरा एक दोस्त लंदन में रह रहा है. and I feel all alone. I feel socially isolated. They've forgotten me. We've grown up together. But see, here's the thing. Their speed of ascent was maybe faster at this phase in their life. Maybe you will do something and maybe you will find something that gives you the success that you want and deserve. And success isn't always money, isn't it? For me, the greatest marker of success, for me, is a good night's sleep. If you can sleep like a baby for 7 to 8 hours, you're a successful man. I believe. Okay, may have a lot of money and all that, but if you have a health problem, BP है, hypertension है, diabetes है, cardiac issue है, ये वो फलाना ढिमका, gastroenteritis, sleep apnea, happens right to people after a certain age. All that money, what are you going to do with it, right? And as I said, I repeat this point, whatever you do, someone will always disapprove of it. So these are some reality checks which I give people, isn't it? अकेले तो आप हो ही और हमेशा रहोगे. But remember my point about solidarity. By that definition, हर कोई इंसान अकेला है. Some unhelpful attitudes while dealing with social isolation. If you're feeling lonely, if you're feeling कि I haven't met my friends, I don't know how long this COVID is going to go for, I haven't taken a holiday this year, अरे यार कोई घर पे चाय पीने नहीं आया इतने time से, whatever. Okay? Some people have very unhelpful attitudes. Now I don't like to use the term good attitude and bad attitude. I say unhelpful because it's not helping you. It's not doing you any favors. The first is arrogance. I don't require people. Everyone's in COVID-idiot. सब पागल हैं, सब मूर्ख हैं. I don't require. No, you do require. Maybe you don't require all the time, but don't be arrogant about it. Some people are very cynical. अरे हमारे बिल्डिंग में सब लोग, they're all crooks, they're all cranks. उनका रोना ही खत्म नहीं होता. अरे ये सब चिंदी लोग हैं इधर, तुमको मालूम नहीं है. That's cynicism. सब लोग, तुम हर इंसान से मिले हो जो तुम्हारे बिल्डिंग में रहता है. तुम उनकी जन्म पत्री निकाल के बैठे हो. You know how they grew up? You don't, right? So why are you generalizing? Why are you acting like an expert on people you barely even know? So don't be cynical. Because the more cynical you are, the more alone you feel. You feel I'm the only great person, everyone else is a fool. Which is not the case. They have made mistakes. You have made mistakes. Point 3 is laziness. I won't do anything. Let everyone else do it. I will not make phone calls. I will not send messages to people on their birthdays. But everyone should do it for me. It doesn't work that way, man. It doesn't work that way. Second is inflexibility. Why should I change my expectations? I expect that my friends from college call me up and ask me, "Bhai, teri tabiyat kaisi hai? After all, I had COVID." Whatever may be your story. But you have to alter your expectations. Remember, at every stage in your life, you will have a set of expectations that correspond to the age that you represent. A 34-year-old has different expectations, such as me. A 21-year-old has different expectations. A 76-year-old has different expectations. But manage them and alter them to align with your goals. Okay? Third is punitive. If you're a person who likes to punish other people in your mind, you say everyone deserves to suffer because they're idiots. Don't be that way, man. Come on now. What if they're feeling the same way about you? Why? Why create that hate? And believe me, hate is like a bubble. Air bubble nahi. It's its own bubble. So everyone lives within these bubbles of hate. And when those two bubbles collide, they burst. And suddenly you don't know what to do with each other. No one deserves to suffer, in my opinion. Yeah, we all will suffer eventually, and we all have suffered and probably will suffer even more as we grow older. All kinds of things happen in everyone's lives. पैसा जाता है, तबीयत जाती है, कभी-कभी reputation भी जाता है, कभी-कभी your entire business line might suddenly become challenged because of the situation. What's happening with the hospitality, travel and aviation industry? They're screwed, man. They're in bad shape. So, time की बात होती है. Some good attitudes, great attitudes while dealing with social isolation. The first thing I love is gregariousness. Be very aggressive in introducing yourself to new people. Now I do this thing, and I'm telling you this is what I do. I'm just telling you it's a suggestion. I have this thing called a digital business card, and I have these 3 images I send to every new person. Hi, I'm Dr. Aman Bhosle, blah, blah, blah. This is my experience. These are my credentials. This is my, this is what I do. This is my email address. This is my Instagram. This is my LinkedIn. Full janam patri. देखना है देखो, इग्नोर करना है इग्नोर करो. मैंने भेज दिया. Because I'm gregarious by nature. I get in there. I once sent it to one of my neighbors. He said, अरे तुम इतना information भेज रहे हो, मुझे बेटी की शादी नहीं करवानी है अपनी. He was being sarcastic. I'm like, चलो कोई बात नहीं. बेटी है तो बताओ, हमारी शादी नहीं हुई अब तक. I felt like saying that, but I said छोड़ो, that's a bit on the nose. But you see, I'm very gregarious. I'm not ashamed of introducing myself. I'm not ashamed of talking about myself because I've worked bloody hard to be where I am. And I know those 17-hour days. I know those 4-hour drives back and forth in Chakala to my old house in Cuff Parade. Kitna time lagta tha. I know how I made, things work in Singapore when I had went there all alone with no friends, had a job there. So, but here's the thing: if you don't take the initiative, you will not make new friends, and the old friends that you have, they're going to forget about you, man. Second thing, empathy. See, people, it's very important to remember that most people are in some kind of pain. And it is because they are in pain that they may act in certain ways. For example, if a dog is injured, an animal, a dog is injured, you see videos on YouTube of injured dogs being rescued. Someday you just go and see. You know what happens when you try to rescue the dog? It'll try to bite you, it'll bark at you, it'll howl at you. Because the dog doesn't know you're trying to rescue it. The dog says, "What the hell's your problem, man? Why are you bloody trying to touch me? What are you trying to pull from behind me?" So try to think of human beings like that. सबके अपने अपने रोने हैं, सबके अपने अपने दर्द हैं. People are in pain, they may be conceited and blind as a result of that. They don't know what you want for them. They don't understand your intentions, they don't understand your communication, they don't understand you. Okay. Be proactive. You want something, go pursue it, go get it. Don't wait for Modi ji to give it to you. Don't wait for God or karma. Otherwise आप रुकते ही रहोगे और आपकी जिंदगी निकल जाएगी, बाल सफेद हो जाएंगे. मेरी भी हो रही है थोड़ी. I have like 4-5 white beards. I noticed the other day when I was cutting my beard. Be flexible, guys. You have to alter your expectations. Okay? Because every time you are pissed off, every time you're angry, you feel isolated, you're angry with your friends. Oh no, no one calls me anymore. अरे इनके Google meetups होते हैं, इनके Zoom calls होते हैं, मेरे को किसी ने नहीं बुलाया. You're angry. That's because you expect to be treated like some kind of important person. You're not an important person. Nobody is. Think about it that way. Say, I'm not important. I'm alive. I'm important in my head. Maybe they don't see me as important. या मैं ऐसी कोई चीज़ करूँ which makes them realize my value and importance. और अगर उस चीज़ के करने के बाद उनको फिर भी नहीं लगता कि I'm important, maybe I'm in the wrong crowd. Maybe among wrong people. Isn't it? Be extremely generous during this time. I always ask myself the question, how can I contribute? How can I share? What can I give? Can I give some wisdom? Can I give some time? Can I give some excitement? Can I say a few bad jokes and make people happy? I try. Not everyone may like it. Some people will like it. Some people won't. कोशिश तो जारी है. कर तो रहे हैं. थोड़ा तो कुछ कर रहे हैं हम. That confidence should be there. Be extremely thick-skinned, guys. I think people will attack. See, during these times of social distancing, whatever, I hate that word, you know that by now, social isolation, people are irritable. People are unpredictable. People are feeling very, very cooped up. Cabin fever भी कोई चीज़ होती है दोस्तों. So they will attack you verbally. They may attack your reputation. They may attack you on bloody WhatsApp. They'll attack. You have to dodge the bullets and wisen up. भिड़ना नहीं है आपको हर किसी के साथ. Are you understanding? Alter your perspective to alter your fate. If you want to resolve a problem, and the problem today we are discussing is the problem of social isolation, something in you has to dissolve. Your ego has to dissolve. Your laziness has to dissolve. Your rigid expectations have to dissolve. Isn't it? When you mix sugar or salt in water, वो उस पानी का हिस्सा बन जाता है. It becomes one with the water. The water is a metaphor for life. You have to become one with any situation you're in and find ways to innovate. Because nothing is permanent. Your youth isn't permanent, your wealth isn't permanent, your bloody position in an excellent company, whether you're a CMO or a CFO or a GM or an MD, it's not permanent, you know. Someday you'll grow old and leave or be asked to leave, you'll be replaced by someone else. That's life. Every time you're suffering or you feel alone, say it's not permanent. It's 1 year. 2020 is 1 year. If I ask you guys, what were you doing on October, the 29th of October in 2017 on this day, किसी को भी याद नहीं होगा. Because no, how often do you think about 2017 में मैंने क्या किया? It's just a year for you now. The same way 2020 will be a year for you now. Maybe in 2025, maybe in 2028. It'll be a year, it'll be just a year. कि हाँ ये हुआ था यार, पता है रहे ऐसे ऐसे दिन थे. Like you ask people now to talk about 26/11. 26/11 attacks हुए थे, अजमल कसाब etc. Nowadays people talk about it, अरे हम पता है हम यहाँ पे थे, अरे पता है वहाँ. They talk about it as if it's some movie that they bloody saw yesterday. But when it was happening, it was terrifying for those of y'all who were in Bombay. I was in Goa at that time. Time changes things. Context changes things. So be patient. Unhealthy ways of dealing with social isolation. Guilt tripping your friends for not being in touch. Calling your friends up and say, so, you've forgotten about me. You don't care about me. Because if you guilt trip people, they will start avoiding you even more because they'll say, yaar, iska phone aata hai, to he'll just complain saying, you don't love me, you don't care about me, you've forgotten me. Humko ye sab sunna nahi hai. So don't guilt trip people. No one on this planet enjoys experiencing guilt. Constructively baat karo. बोलो, hey man, I haven't heard from you in a while यार, तेरी याद आ गई यार, फोन कर लिया. You have some time now कि बाद में करूँ. 10 मिनट है मेरे लिए. If you ask like that, you have conveyed your message instead of saying, hey, तू तो भूल गया मेरे को, hey, तू तो useless है, hey, तेरे से दोस्ती करके गलती किया. Why you want to be that way? Don't be that way. Okay. Some people start arguments on WhatsApp to feel significant. कि I'm going to start an argument. ये problem है, ये fix नहीं हुआ, ये लोग ऐसे हैं. Your WhatsApp arguments may make you feel important. You feel like you have hit some kind of goal of self-righteousness. What it does is you're like those contestants in the Big Boss house that everyone is looking at and saying, "Yeda sala." Everyone is looking at you like that. So be very careful what you post online. Be very careful how much anger you show on WhatsApp. See, anger, irritability, annoyance, we all feel it, even I feel it. Some days even I'll get a little irritated, I'll say something on WhatsApp. कोई बात नहीं. But I will know at what stage and what threshold I am at every given point of time. So in my mind, I will not overdo it. Or if I feel, am I being repetitive? Am I saying the same thing in different ways? Then I'll stop it. And I think all of us have to be very careful to not use WhatsApp to create wars. Don't stalk and troll people online because that will make you feel even more socially isolated. Because if you go online, everyone is doing yoga. Everyone is going to Goa. Everyone is wearing a mask and sitting in a bloody flight. Everyone is making yummy food at home, having modaks and rasgullas and chicken and Chinese food. Because the online world is an advertisement, my friends. They will only show you the best parts of their life. So if you become a stalker or you start trolling people online, you're becoming a part of a very subversive ecosystem that is doing nothing but wasting your time. And if you're uncivil, of course that's going to come back to haunt you. If you're a nuisance to your community, if you're saying, I'm going to reject everyone because they have rejected me and I will show them and I will punish them and I'll give them a flavor of who I am, they're going to move away from you, man. You're going to feel more socially isolated. So don't be a punisher. Okay, now if you are getting addicted to things like food or smoking, some people becoming shopaholics during this time, some people drinking daru. Any addiction, guys, is going to lower your immunity, and you need your immunity. You know, at this time, we're all immunocompromised because of the COVID. The strain is virulent. We don't know how it'll come, if it'll come in our houses and lives. All we can do is take precautions. So if you're doing anything that lowers your health, you're becoming fat, you're smoking or you're drinking, online shopping से आपके पैसे कम हो रहे हैं, पैसे जिनके आपको बहुत ज़रूरत होगी अगर आपको कोविड हो गया. So anything you're doing that is depleting your ability, that is subtracting from your ability to take care of yourself, you got to be very careful not to do that. Some people do this in the younger age groups. They'll lead someone on because they're feeling socially isolated. हम कितने अकेले हैं, हमको कोई याद नहीं करता. They will pretend to like someone. They will pretend कि प्यार हो गया. They'll flirt. They'll send messages. They'll send those, that kiss icon. I miss you. ये वो. Just for bhao, just for attention. So in a way, what you're doing is you've turned another human being into a toy to deal with your own social isolation. That's not fair. That's unhealthy because once they find out what you were doing, man, they're going to be pissed. And then they're going to come after you in some way or the other. And then that kind of erodes your reputation in unspeakable ways. How do you deal with social isolation? I do this: write about your daily thoughts. So I have this journal I maintain. It can be handwritten or it can be a word document, whatever you prefer. I just write कि आज ये हुआ, आज ये बहुत मज़ा आया, ये हुआ यार, आज बहुत बोर हुआ, whatever. Get those thoughts and emotions out so that it's like a detox. You are detoxing for your brain. When you're socially isolated, look for inspiration on the internet, guys. The internet is a beautiful place, but it's also a ridiculous place. You can spend 2 hours looking at videos of squirrels getting scared of pigeons. Or for 2 hours, you can watch videos and learn about your country, the history of mankind, philosophy, how to grow your wealth. You still have only 2 hours, let's assume, to chill out online. What is the quality of content that you are consuming is going to affect the quality of thinking that you carry out. है कि नहीं? The way people say you are what you eat, I say you are what you feed your mind on the internet. So if you look for inspiration on the internet, you feel charged up all the time. You feel हो जाएगा यार, मैं कर लूँगा यार, हो जाएगा मेरे से. Work out regularly to keep yourself fit. Now, I'm not saying you do work out like Sylvester Stallone in the first Rocky movie. You don't have to do push-ups and pull-ups. Even if you go for a half an hour to 45-minute walk, depending on your body's condition, is lovely, you know. I recommend all my clients to listen to podcasts. Earphones ले लीजिए, बढ़िया से आपको मिल सकते हैं. Anything between 3,000 to 15,000, depending on how much money you have. You can buy those earphones, Bluetooth headsets. Go for a walk, yaar. Must listen to something. That 40 minutes is an investment in health and knowledge. 2 birds have been killed with 1 stone. Isn't it? Don't judge your emotions, guys. You know, I feel people are very judgmental. मेरे को यार बहुत गुस्सा आता है, बंद होना चाहिए. यार मैं बहुत दुखी रहता हूँ, पता नहीं क्यों हो गया. Why are you judging yourself? आप हो दुखी तो इसलिए आप महसूस कर रहे हो. आप हो गुस्सा इसलिए महसूस कर रहे हो. Observe your emotions. Don't succumb to them. आप अपने भावनाओं की गिरफ्त में मत होइए. आप अपनी भावनाओं को देखिए. जैसे आप IPL देखते हो. You're not on the bloody field catching the ball, but you are observing the guy who is catching the ball. And you are like, अरे उसने वो कैच छोड़ दिया यार, नहीं तो साला गड़बड़ हो जाती है ना. So feel emotions, don't become emotions. Help your community out. जो भी आपका community, आपकी building, आपका society, आपके neighbors. As Sanjay correctly said, I've never seen him. If we cross paths नीचे, I may not recognize him with the mask on. How will I? But he's my friend, and I have promised him beer and food at my house whenever this madness ends. He says, Aman, come do a talk for Rotary. I say, chalo, I'll do it. I create a talk specially based on my thoughts because he's my friend. So for me, that is my way of giving to the community in the way that I can. I have knowledge of psychology, so I'm sharing that. Isn't it? Meet like-minded people, guys. E-meeting means you meet people on WhatsApp or on LinkedIn or on Instagram. मिलो लोगों को. Grow your network यार. आप घर पे बैठे बैठे नए नए लोगों को मिलो. ज़रूर मिलिए. It's great to have a good network. As you grow older, you realize that network is actually a very very good resource. You can learn so much from them. So inspiring लोग भी अच्छे होते हैं. A thing I always tell people to do is if you see, आप एक झुंड में, एक क्राउड में बैठ सकते हो. आपके घर में 10 लोग हो सकते हैं, and you can still feel very lonely if you don't have a gelling, a vibe, and a good communication with those people. So become curatorial. What does this mean? अगर आपको आपके घर के लिए पेंटिंग लेना है और आप किसी शॉप पे गए हो, चलो पेंटिंग छोड़ो, गणेश चतुर्थी है and you want to buy a गणपति, वहाँ बड़ा सोच सोच के पिक करो कि अरे ये वाला अच्छा है, हमारे डेकोर के साथ जाएगा, ये साइज़ अच्छा है, ये गाड़ी के डिक्की में फिट होगा, अरे ये पेंटिंग गोल्डन है, हमारा ये फर्श भी गोल्डन है तो हमको गोल्डन चाहिए तो वो कलर स्कीम में फिट होगा. ये आप पेंटिंग के लिए करते हो, लेकिन इंसानों के लिए नहीं करते. क्यों नहीं करते? बी सिलेक्टिव. कौन कहता है 50-50 दोस्त होने की ज़रूरत है? 4 दोस्त हों, लेकिन दिल वाले दोस्त हों, दैट यू सीना ठोक के बोल सकते हो कि दिस इज़ माई फ्रेंड, और कभी मेरे पे आफत आ गई दोस्त आ जाएगा. सो बिकम क्यूरेटोरियल. हर कोई आपका दोस्त नहीं होता और होना भी नहीं चाहिए. एंड ऑल योर फ्रेंड्स डोंट हैव टू थिंक लाइक यू, बट दे हैव टू रिस्पेक्ट यू. and they have to help you grow, is what I believe. Maybe you believe something else. So become picky. The way people, as they grow older, they become very picky about what they eat, how much they drink, how much physical exercise they do. So you have to become picky about your company, because your company affects your mindset, and your mindset affects the quality of your thoughts, and the quality of your thoughts affects your mood, and the mood affects your schedule, and your schedule affects your thoughts. So it's a cycle. And your mood also affects your perception of how socially isolated you are at a given point of time as well. So it's all connected. You may wonder, अरे हमको social isolation की बात है, दोस्तों के बारे में क्यों बात कर रहा है? सब कुछ connected है, isn't it? Some wise strategies that I would like to suggest to you so you feel less isolated. Please network people. Join as many WhatsApp groups as possible, because you never know where you may meet someone like-minded. Head outside. Okay, I'm not saying go and go to a pub or go to a restaurant, but head outside means step outside ना. आपका building तो है, आपका garage है, whatever. Step outside, whatever little nature Mumbai has to offer. If you can go to a public park or space, mask पहन के जाओ, mask sanitizer लेके जाओ. It's very interesting to observe people, at least for me, because the more people you observe, the more you wonder about, अरे उसकी क्या life होगी, अरे उसका क्या schedule होगा, अरे उसका क्या thinking process होगा, and you don't suddenly feel so alone. This comes back to my third point of the existential stage, which is solidarity. You feel like you're a part of humanity, not a part of just one family. कि मैं इंसानियत का हिस्सा हूँ, और पूरी इंसानियत पे ये आफत आई हुई है, कोविड की आफत. Make phone calls, guys. Third point. Call up your friends, call up your family. Just tell them I miss you. Tell them I really want to hear your voice. कि I was thinking, यार हम पता है हम लोग पुराने टाइम पे कैसे हम लोग उधर जाके सैंडविच खाते थे. Call your friends, they'll be very happy. नहीं तो आप झिझक में रहोगे, हेजिटेट करोगे आप, तो वो भी हेजिटेट करेंगे, आप भी हेजिटेट करोगे, क्या मजा है उसमें. So gregariousness is very important, I had said. Connect with a mental health professional if you're really feeling a bit depressive or anxious, and they will help you out in the way that they can, and you can assess it, isn't it? It's like if you want to lose weight, you engage a gym trainer or a yoga coach. Similarly, people like me, I'm a mental health professional, we specialize in being able to give people strategies. We help them look at their schedule, we help them look at their choices, we help them look at their past, we help them look at their attitudes. So we can make changes and upgrades where required. But I'm like a mechanic of emotions. I'm a mechanic of attitudes and expectations. And I have an invisible screwdriver, because I know कहाँ पे ढील देनी होती है और कहाँ पे screw tight करना पड़ता है. Isn't it? Take up something known as a pet project, an initiative, develop new skills, a musical instrument, maybe learn to cook. If you've never cooked in your life, start with Maggi, start with eggs, start with paneer bhurji, start with जीरा आलू. कि यार ये 6 महीनों में मेरे को बेसिक कुकिंग सीखना है. आई मे नॉट बी एबल टू मेक अ बिरयानी, बट आई शुड बी एबल टू मेक अ सिंपल आलू सब्जी. Especially for the guys. Come on, man. Do your bit, share the load. I call this next point mind traveling. Now, because those who know me, most of y'all don't know that I love traveling, and I travel alone. Keeda hai mere mein. Giant sized keeda. I've been to so many countries all alone. Been to Cambodia, Vietnam, South Korea, Taiwan, Bali, Jakarta, Spain, Greece, Turkey, France, all alone, Vietnam. Lived in Singapore, all alone, Malaysia, Java. I've been to all kinds of places. No, sorry, I haven't been to Java. Java I want to go to. I've been close to Java. Been to the Mount Kinabalu for a trek. So I can't actually travel now. So what I do is I see travel vlogs. कि बाकी लोग घूम रहे मैं उनको देखूं. So I feel like I'm virtually enjoying the city, the country, the culture, the food. So your mind has to travel, even though you physically can't travel. That's very good for you, for your emotional well-being. You won't suddenly feel so depressed and oh my god, I'm socially isolated. Oh my god, मेरा कुछ नहीं होने वाला है. Oh my god, I have not gone for a holiday. Home and kitchen innovation is a great way to also travel in your mind. Clean up the house, upgrade certain parts of your house, keep your kitchen organized, your home office if you have one organized. Learn to collect money. This is a my dad used to always say, Aman, learn to save for a rainy day. It's a lesson I learned a little later in my life. You can use this time to learn how to grow your savings and income. What the hell is a mutual fund? What the hell is an FD? What is a liquid fund? Now, I have also, over time, but through interaction with my father, who's an expert at this, and I've started learning and trying to sort of understand these things better. I'm watching this show currently called Scam, the Harshad Mehta story. I don't understand anything about stock markets. But I am now interested in knowing a little more than I did maybe 2 months ago because the show is interesting and I want to understand the story. So it's called Mind Travel. And I'm also collecting knowledge on how to collect and grow my wealth. Small incremental steps, because this is a time where you really need your money to take you far and wide. Because if you fall sick, if your family falls sick, you're going to need that money. Okay? We never know when the world is going to recover from the COVID or when something similarly exotic is going to come and cause trouble in our lives. We don't know. It's good to have some money parked right. Experience stories. I keep telling people, the way we experience our lives is through a story that we are telling ourselves. What is that story? Oh, I have a great life. Oh, I have a bad life. Oh, I have a mediocre life. Oh, I have a boring life. Experience stories of other people as well to recontextualize the way you see your life. कि मुझे अगर लगता है कि मैं पानी में हूँ, मेरा कुछ हो नहीं रहा है, watch a documentary about what happened in Cambodia during Pol Pot's regime. The Khmer Rouge took place. And look at what that country went through. Most of y'all don't even know where Cambodia is. And I don't blame you. How many Indians have gone there for tourism? One idiot called Aman Bhosle who went there to have curry and to see where the killing fields were. Recontextualize your life constantly. Watch documentaries, read books, see vlogs of people. So you realize, बाप रे, मुझे लगा था यार मेरे लाइफ में प्रॉब्लम है, भाई असली प्रॉब्लम तो ये है.
Aman, if I may interrupt a bit,
Yes.
In some time, because we have question answers also for split it after this.
I'm almost done. I have 2 more slides to finish the topic. As I said, guys, exercise, workout, do yoga, do meditation, whatever works for you. See, society may guide you when you're young. ऐसा करो, इतना पढ़ो, आगे बढ़ो. But don't let it ride you. घोड़े नहीं हो आप, jockey हो. And society has a very weird way of riding you and making you do things that you may never do otherwise. So be autonomous, be free, be decisive, and be smart about it. Leaving you with this quote: the hardest walk is walking alone, but it's also the walk that makes you the strongest. I believe this. A lot of your walks in life are going to be had to be done alone. And it is through that alone time that you will find the courage to tackle a lot of life's problems that will suddenly come. Remember, problem doesn't send you a letter, I'm going to come in 1 month from now. Problem will suddenly come. Suddenly you're sick. Suddenly your stocks have fallen. Suddenly one of your family members is sick. Suddenly you've been kicked out of your job because there's downsizing happening at your company. Suddenly a girl you like doesn't like you back. Suddenly things happen and you're going to have to walk alone. So the more you are used to walking alone, the more you change the way you think about it. You're not combating your situation. You are altering your situation. You're analyzing your situation. The more you become reflective about it, the better it is for you. Now, these are my credentials. This is what I was telling you guys. I sent something on WhatsApp. So this is full screen. I send this to people on WhatsApp. So if any of you all, I think each and every of my slides had my mobile number on it. So if by now you are struggling to find out how to reach me, then this slide is there again. My email is there. These are my credentials for those of you all who want to know more about me. I'm extremely social. LinkedIn, YouTube, Facebook, Instagram. Dr. Aman Bhosle. Just Google the name. Please spell my surname correctly. You type Bhosale, you'll find Asha Bhosle's songs. You can listen to Piya Tu Ab Tu Aaja, but that's not how you reach me. No problem. I'm available for counseling, guys. If you know anyone, you want to give me a referral, you may. If you don't want to give me a referral, also fine. Okay? I usually see clients between 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. after which I do some cooking, I relax, I listen to music, I watch TV shows. I'm watching Scam, as I said. I read books. I love Spotify. I'm affiliated with the Heart to Heart Counseling Center. That's our website. These are my specializations. You can take a screenshot of this if you feel like. Share it in any of your groups if you feel like. Only if you feel like. These are largely the problems that people approach me with. कि ये problem है. There are other problems as well, but these are the most popular ones. So I was just trying to say, what do I usually get consulted for? I'm on YouTube, guys. A lot of these talks that I do are recorded and I upload the videos on YouTube. So if someone missed it or was like, अरे अच्छा point था मेरे को फिर से देखना है, go on YouTube and hit subscribe here. I do have more than 84 subscribers. I made this slide a long time ago. I have more now. But I'm always happy to share free knowledge, guys. I believe knowledge should be free in an ideal world. But of course, we have bills to pay. So I do charge for some knowledge, but some is free. This is my hashtag, my handle on Instagram. I love Instagram. So I watch a lot of movies. I'm a movie buff. So if you want to know what movies to watch, you can find me there. Obviously, for a more professional conversation, find me on LinkedIn. I love chai, but I haven't had any for a while. I'm having green tea now. It's Dr. Aman Bhosle, PhD. And yes, as Sanjay said, we will now jump into Q&A. So I'm going to stop sharing my screen now. You guys can ask me questions and I would be extremely happy and delighted to answer any questions you guys have. So go ahead.
That was wonderful. Thank you so much, Aman Bhosle, PhD. Really wonderful. I would like audience here, whoever wants to ask any questions, please go ahead. Any questions from anyone? Please unmute yourself and ask.
Hi, Sharmuka here, and I'll take the credit for misspelling your name on that invite. Notwithstanding that, here's my question. So how does one recognize the need to approach, say, a professional like you?
Well, if your schedule is suffering and you're not able to really organize things, or you feel very moody, or very low, or very angry, or very sad, or very confused, or just generally you're getting into fights, or your family is giving you trouble by saying what's wrong with you, what's wrong with you, what's wrong with you, or if you're having squabbles with your significant other, or feeling general unease, anxiety, that's usually a good indicator that you speak to mental health professional. Some people come to me, just because they have a lot of work, but they're not able to organize themselves. Some people come to me because of anxiety. Some people come to me because they're having discord within their family. Some people come to me because, they feel, oh no, my business is going belly up and I don't know what to do. So I do corporate coaching as well. Helping people with confidence issues. I do also something called as breakup coaching, which is very new in India. So if you're going through heartbreak, or you've been cheated on, or your partner has been untrue to you and dumped your butt on the street, I help you through that. There's certain stages and processes that I help you with. So these are the things I offer. Really depends. So different clients have different needs. So my array of services are also a reflection of what is being brought to the table by a client. So I hope that answers the question. Yeah?
Yeah, thanks.
Can I ask a question? I'll ask a question here. In fact, I have two questions. One is not exactly related to what you were talking, but you did mention something about you advise us to join a lot of WhatsApp groups. You yourself have been forming WhatsApp groups on different topics. How do you overcome the problem of irresponsible forwards and all the political discussions that happen, and because of that, all the other problems that crop up?
See, here's the thing. As a group admin of those WhatsApp groups, you got to lay down the law sometimes. You got to be firm. So when people come on so I have this document I've created of what is not allowed to be posted on the group, and I have something called a 2 strikes rule. You start posting junk on my group, I'm going to kick you out. I don't care how bad you feel, because you broke the rules. So, for example, I have a food group. On my food group, you're only allowed to discuss food. You're not allowed to say Jai Shri Krishna on it. You're not allowed to propagate your religion, or send some stupid joke that your uncle sent you, or post some non-veg joke, or share some meme about potholes, about how it's raining and now everyone's going to go on boats. You share that, you are out. Because the rules are clear. So, group description जो होता है आपके WhatsApp group का, वहाँ पे बहुत विस्तार से लिखिए. And when you new people join the group, what I do is I send them my digital business card. I send them all these self promotion मैं करता हूँ बेशर्मों की तरह. I don't care. धंधा है मेरा. I have to self promote. So I do my self promotion and I also send them that little document. Ki, hey, welcome to my group. I hope you have fun. Follow the rules, and you'll make some friends and you'll have some fun. Break the rules and it's tata, bye bye, sayonara, alvida. So you have to be firm. I think in any organization, if you're creating it, you got to lay down the law. Don't be arrogant and angry and vicious, but be firm. Say, all right, man, this is bull crap. I'm going to call you out for it. So that I think is an important. I have a group called the Time Pass Group where you can say Jai Shri Krishna every morning and talk all kinds of shit and junk and share whatever trash that you have. It's like a garbage bin. I never check that group, but some people very regularly check it. ठीक है, खुशी है उनको, let them do it. Who am I to judge? मैं कौन होता हूँ हाँ या ना बोलने के लिए? Be civil. Don't pick fights. Don't do false advertising. Don't plagiarize content, and we're good.
One.
Yeah.
Other
Can I
part
ask?
of,
Yes.
one more. I have two questions. The other one you were talking about, because of social isolation, there's anxiety, depression, anger, guilt, self-pity, and all that. How much do you think economic status or economic well-being have to do with the kind of problems that somebody with on the economic front, if he's fighting for survival, he simply won't have time for all this.
Time for what? What don't you have time for?
For anger, guilt, self-pity,
No,
fighting for survival.
I think when you're having economic problems, you will experience all kinds of emotions. You may experience guilt. Oh no, I have an economic crisis on hand. I'm guilty of not providing enough for my family. You may feel anger. You may say, shit, last year I was so profitable and look at what's happened this year. Economic crisis can make you feel very, very sad and depressed and miserable. Oh no, मेरा क्या होगा? मेरे को तो यही काम आता है और कोई काम तो मैंने कभी किया नहीं. मेरे तो हालत हो जाए, मेरे EMIs में कैसे भरूंगा, बच्चे को इंटरनेशनल स्कूल कैसे भेजूंगा. सो इकोनॉमिक क्राइसिस कैन लीड टू अ रेंज ऑफ इमोशंस बेस्ड ऑन व्हाट इज द इमोशन दैट यू आर मोस्ट यूज्ड टू सी. जैसे आपका फेवरेट आउटफिट होता है, जैसे आपकी फेवरेट डिश होती है, वैसे हर इंसान का फेवरेट इमोशन भी होता है. जब भी आप पे आफत आती है, whenever you are facing a crisis, some people usually feel very angry. Why am I facing this? Some people feel very depressed. Or मेरी तो life खत्म. Some people feel very guilty. अरे I need to protect everyone else. तो आपका default emotion क्या है ये आपको जानना है और कोई बता नहीं पाएगा आपको, isn't it? So economic crisis तो मुझे लगता है हर इंडस्ट्री अपने अपने लेवल के हिसाब से उसको बफर कर रही है या उसके साथ झुलझ रही है. I feel. So इकोनॉमिक क्राइसिस सिर्फ एज आई सेड अकेले आपके लिए नहीं हो रहा है. सो इकोनॉमिक क्राइसिस से निकलने की जो तरकीबें हैं, अगर आपको अकर नहीं हो रही हैं तो जिनको अकर हो रहा है उनसे दोस्ती रखिए. यू कैन बोरो इंस्पिरेशन, एक्सपर्टीज फ्रॉम देम, एंड दैट आई बिलीव इज वेरी वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट. सी यू एज आई सेड इट इज डिस्टेंट सोशलाइजिंग, नॉट सोशल डिस्टेंसिंग. दूर से ही सही Prabodh ji is having a conversation with me, a man he has never met, and I am able to directly make suggestions, directly give him some tips. He may take some tips, he may not take some tips, that's fine, that's his choice, but at least the interface is there. We're not dark, we're active. So that is important. You need to know when to access the right resources to lift yourself out of an emotional or psychological or social crisis, because crisis free life तो अंबानी जी का भी नहीं हुआ है. क्राइसिस फ्री लाइफ तो सलमान खान का भी नहीं हुआ है. संजय दत्त इज फाइटिंग फॉर हिज लाइफ. क्राइसिस फ्री तो किसी का भी लाइफ नहीं हुआ है. Whenever people say I have a crisis on my hand, I say all great men and women throughout history. नेल्सन मंडेला का जो जेल सेल है on Robben Island, I have gone and seen it in South Africa. इतना छोटा रूम मैंने जिंदगी में नहीं देखा. इट इज स्मॉलर देन माई ब्लडी टॉयलेट, एंड द मैन इज नेल्सन मंडेला. सो क्राइसिस तो हर किसी को. सो आई ऑलवेज थिंक अबाउट मैन ग्रेटर देन मी, वाइजर देन मी, हु हैव गॉन टू क्राइसिस, और उनका क्राइसिस देख के मुझे मेरा क्राइसिस बहुत छोटा लगता है कि नहीं क्राइसिस तो है, बट इट्स नॉट एज बैड एज आई एम मेकिंग इट आउट टू बी. मैं अपने दिमाग में ही उसमें हवा भर रहा हूं. तो ये मैं अपने आप के साथ करता हूं, ये आप ट्राई कर सकते हैं अपने आप के साथ, isn't it? A real crisis would be if my arms and legs were chopped off, my family died in a nuclear attack, I lost all my money and I'm on the streets left to beg with no arms and legs. That's a crisis, in my opinion. That's a big crisis. ये नहीं होता क्राइसिस मेरे लिए कि मेरा वाईफाई नहीं चल रहा है. इट्स अ पेन इन द एस. आई कांट वॉच नेटफ्लिक्स. ठीक है, 4G जिंदाबाद. 4G नहीं तो 3G, 3G नहीं तो किताबें. So recontextualize. I hope that answers your question.
Yeah, Sudhir, you wanted to ask something?
Yeah, Aman, thank you very much for this inspiring presentation. I liked the presentation, how you presented the odd colors in your presentation. But one serious question is, how do you sustain or how do you improve the morale of your team in the organizations what you are working for in these kind of times, you know, wherein you are facing economic crisis, you are facing job crisis, and the people look forward to you for them, or basically they look up to you so that they don't lose the jobs, you know, in that respect. So how do you sustain that?
So, well, I have worked in the corporate industry as well before. Now, currently what I do is I'm a consultant. So when I was in the corporate industry, I've seen retrenchments, I've seen all kinds of things happen, you know, people getting sabotaged, a new managing director wants to bring his old friends, his drinking buddies and really good workers being tossed out on the street. How do you keep the morale? It's a fantastic question. Understand one thing, you can try to create an environment of support for people who need support, but whether they access that ecosystem that you have created is really up to them. Okay, so it's very important to be honest in your endeavors and not be disingenuous. Not to single out people from the HR profession, but I've seen a lot of HR initiatives fall completely flat. And I have worked in 3 different countries. I've had a very long and fun career. I worked in Malaysia, in Singapore, in India. HR initiative होता है that we are going to have a town hall and we're going to discuss grievances. कुछ नहीं होता उसके बाद. Free buffet के लिए लोग आ जाते हैं. So it's very important for the efforts to be honest. I have found in my practice while dealing with human beings is tell people the truth. Bullshit मत करो उनको. घूम फिर के बात मत करिए, डायरेक्ट बात करिए. A little bit of honesty, a little bit of humor. Some people find it easier to be funny than others. It's an art. I would like to think some of my bad jokes land and some of them fall flat. I would like to think in my head I think I'm very funny. Now I don't know what you guys think. So I feel mental health doesn't have to be seen as, we're going to talk about your depression. Let's bring a smile on people's faces. I saw a movie as a child called Patch Adams with Robin Williams. And he always said, you don't just want to increase the length of their lives, you want to improve the quality of their lives. So yes, if there is a situation where people are losing their jobs and you need to motivate them, you have to do it on a one-to-one basis. Talk to them, buy them a beer, maybe not alcohol, maybe chai. Help connect them with your network, maybe give them a reference, maybe write them a nice recommendation on LinkedIn. Tell them, this is my personal number, call me anytime. See, most people who you say call me anytime are not going to do it because उनको भी hesitation है, अरे यार इसको कैसे 12 बजे रात को थोड़ी call कर सकते हैं, I was feeling low. And it's your prerogative to not take that call also if you're sleeping or you're busy or whatever. But they should know कि यार ये दोस्ती का हाथ मुझे extend किया जा रहा है. Because when you work with the same people, एक जो lines होती है ना, वो blur हो जाती है दोस्ती और professionalism के बीच में. And that's natural, that's normal. So support them as a friend and as a human being, not as a leader or a boss or as an expert. So when I talk to people, when I give my talks, I don't think, अरे these people are elder to me, अरे ये कितने important लोग हैं. ऐसे मैं इंसानों के साथ बात कर रहा हूँ. Even if I was talking to 11-year-olds, my tone would largely be the same. Certain examples I would give would be more relevant to their age group, but my tone doesn't change because human beings are human beings. Human beings want to be entertained. They want to be serenaded. They want good food. They want good movies. They want to sleep. They want money. They want bigger cars. All of us, if we break our lives down, we actually want similar things. We may not want the same things, similar things. So speak to a person in as direct a manner as possible and you do your best. जितना आप कर सकते हो उतना आप करिए. बाकी यार उनकी लाइफ में अगर प्रॉब्लम है, आप हर किसी को तो पैसा नहीं दे सकते अपने अकाउंट से. सो एक आपके इन्वॉल्वमेंट की भी एक लिमिट है, और उस सीमा को क्रॉस मत करिए, नहीं तो पीपल विल स्टार्ट आस्किंग फॉर लोन्स फ्रॉम यू विच यू मे नॉट बी वांटिंग टू गिव, isn't it? So that's my suggestion to you. I hope that answers the question.
Anyone else asking a question, or we can move on? Okay, Dr. Aman, that was wonderful. Uh, Time really flew, and in fact, I had to interrupt you about reminding you of the time, but you were so engrossed that even I should have reminded you a bit earlier that we have so much time left. But that's okay. It really went well. I'd like Shobha to give the vote of thanks. Shobha, you have to unmute yourself.
I like the term vote of thanks. Sir. Vote for me. Vote for me. Make me your leader. God damn it. I'll take away all your problems. I want my vote of thanks.
For taking away our problems, you definitely have all our votes. Don't worry.
Thanks, guys. Hey, have fun, guys. It's a shitty year. All right? All of us have suffered. Please have fun. Please be there for each
Thank
other.
you, Prabodh. Let me first actually shy away from protocol and actually say thanks to our club service team for choosing such a smart person to come and talk to us. I think the topic was very, very important and relevant to our times. All of us are intelligent. We are all in Rotary professionals, and at that very successful professionals in our vocations. But how many of us are emotionally intelligent? And how many of us are able to manage that in emotion? So I think a very, very, very relevant topic, and very beautifully handled by you, Dr. Aman. Thank you very much to talk to us about distant socializing and the 3 C's. And guys, I think we need to follow these very small, but I think very simple. That's what really hit me very clearly. I'm in the same business as him, but what really hit me is that he explains things very simply, got us examples which are day to day, which we can relate with. And therefore, I think somewhere it has gone through. And so let us alter our perspective. As he said, it would resolve all our disillusions to a large extent.
True.
And yes, 2020 year is one that we must survive, and I think not really look to make profits, but definitely survive and get through. It's not that 2020 December 31 midnight is going to make anything different, or that 1st January 1 a.m. is going to be any different than what it is. But I think we can resolve to make it better for us and make the most of whatever we get and we have. So thank you so much, Dr. Aman, for taking time out and speaking to us. Really, really appreciate it.